Thrust into the barn today, a scientific marvel that played a role in one of the 20th century's most important discoveries. It belongs to 8-year-old Felix Morrison, who's accompanied by his dad, Sam.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very good. I can't complain.
Hello.
All right. Dad?
Dad, yeah.
OK.
Son.
Dad, son.
Dad's son, box, what's in it?
In the box is a microscope.
Richard, do you mind joining us?
Sure.
I've got something you might like here.
Oh, yeah.
With his eyes on the prize, optics expert Richard Biggs.
Whoa.
There we go.
Gosh, that's a real microscope.
You said a microscope. You didn't say a work of art. That is unbelievable. Who's going to tell us about this?
It was made in 1890. So this was my great-grandfather's.
Yeah.
His name was John D Bernal.
OK.
He unfortunately died long before I was born. He was a scientist, crystallographer in the early 20th century.
And what does that do?
A crystallographer is a person who studies the way cells form.
Wow.
Yeah, his work was a precursor to lots of interesting, amazing discoveries. His students went on to discover the structure, the double-helix structure of DNA.
God,
so he was very important to amazing DNA-based medicines and things we're having now.
Wow. Are you inspired by science?
Yes, I'm third best in science in my class.
That's a good start, yeah.
And I just want to do cool things with it. Maybe go on to a Nobel Prize, or at least be better than Albert Einstein.
Really?
Why not?
Yes,
Aim high.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Everyone starts somewhere.
Yeah.
Here's your starting point.
Mine is here.
Yeah. So what's actually wrong with it?
So there's bits of rust scattered around.
OK.
The mirror's damaged there around the edges.
Yeah.
And we also might need this bit. That's a bit rusty.
So you can't see through?
Not properly. I don't think the lens are working properly because we can't, like, directly see the cells.
Right.
So all we really see is just blobs.
So the microscope needs work, obviously, because you can't see stuff through it, but the box...
It's got a bit of wear and tear to it,
right.
and it just needs a little bit of love.
So if we get this fixed, what's the first thing you're going to look at?
It's either going to be cucumber skin, carrots, or some dog muscle.
Dog muscle?
Just to clarify,
Yeah.
we have that on a slide. We're not going to take that off a real dog.
OK, I was just about to say, yeah.
OK.
Everything under there will appear magic. Wow.
Yeah.
It's just so different looking at micro
Yeah.
Absolutely, there's a whole
items.
world.
Yes, absolutely.
Whole different microscopic world.
Yeah.
Well, listen, both of you, thank you for bringing this in.
No, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
It's going to be a real joy.
Good to meet you.
We look forward to seeing it when it's done.
Right.
You take care now.
Bye.
Thank you.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, this is where the fun starts. This is rather an impressive instrument. There's this super iris mechanism here. It's like a camera lens iris, which controls the light that's going up. So when the light hits that mirror, it sends it up through the slide, so you can see it. So the flat side is absolutely awful. So what I'm going to do is take it off, and that can be sent off to be resilvered. The whole frame needs to be just polished up a little nicer. Job number one, see if I can get an image. Let's put lenses in. Let me get a slide that's got something in it. Oh, golly, I'm not seeing anything at the moment. So I'm going to have to figure out what is happening. Right.
Next, to test the talents of cobbler Dean Westmoreland, is Malcolm Britton, with a wartime souvenir that tells an incredible tale of bravery and resilience.
How we doing?
Fine, thanks.
Hello.
Hello.
Now, those look like well-used boots. Whose are they?
They were my dad's boots when he was a prisoner of war
in World War II, and he marched in these through miles of Germany and probably Poland as well.
Whoa. What's his name?
Jack.
Jack.
Yeah.
So when did Jack join the army?
When war was imminent, he and his two brothers joined up straight away. They soon went across to Norway. I think it was the beginning of 1940, and there he was captured. Never saw the fighting, he just saw imprisonment for the duration of the war.
He was a prisoner of war for the whole of the war?
Yeah, for 5 years, yeah. We kept quiet about it, really.
Yeah.
But after he died, we found the diary that he'd kept throughout the war.
Wow. Seriously?
Yeah, and it's from the beginning of 1942 to the time the Americans took him home. But the circumstances in which he was imprisoned were horrific.
Yeah.
You know, he speaks of a long period of starvation almost in 1942.
Yeah.
I think little things like that can make you realise how awful it must have been.
Mm.
It's hard for us to comprehend, isn't it? What they would have gone through.
Yeah. Does your dad mention the boots in the diary?
Not as such, but he would be wearing them, especially in the snowy conditions in winter. There's a very good description somewhere in here. The Germans put us 7,000 men to march by night towards South Germany, marching by night, sleeping by day, outside or in barns. Through exposure, hands, lips, face badly chapped. I had dysentery most of the way, same as 90% of the others.
So these boots have a lot of history.
Yes.
So what would you like Dean to do to the actual boots? I could see the back is coming apart.
I don't know what can be done, if anything, about the moths that have had a good go at them.
Yeah.
But, you know, if the stitching was done, a bit of the sole and healing and...
Yeah.
But you don't want them looking brand new?
Not brand new, no, but just tidying up a bit. They would remind us of him wearing these boots. His indefatigable courage, not ever wanting to give up. In fact, when he got home, I do remember him trudging through the snow in them when I was a little boy.
Really? So
Yeah.
he carried on wearing them?
Yeah, he carried on wearing them. If ever it snowed, he wore them. When he was trudging to his office in deep snow, he would have us following him. And my younger brother would have been 5.
Yeah.
He got about 200 yards and it came above his knees, and so Dad let him go home.
Yeah.
I was 7, could probably got half a mile.
Yeah.
And then he sent me home. But he just carried on.
Yeah.
Just to work. Not as a starving prisoner. It's not only memories of the war, but memories of my childhood as well. And honouring what he'd gone through.
Yeah. Malcolm, thank you for bringing these in.
Thank you as well.
I'll do my best for them.
You take care now.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Bye then.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, them boots were definitely made for surviving, weren't they?
Yeah, need some work on them. Should come up nice then.
Nice one. Good luck with it.
Cheers, mate. These boots are really blowing my mind, really. I can't believe how old they are and what they've been through. The things that Jack must have endured while wearing these, it's really quite hard to comprehend. The major damage is quite obvious here, where it needs restitching and gluing. There's some moth-eaten holes in the felt here. This heel block is really quite deteriorated. I think I need to build him a new heel block so that they sit right and they stand right and they look proud, as they should. Before I can do anything, though, I really need to give all the leather a clean, make it a bit more supple. There's over 70 years of muck and grime in there. So even just that small section there has pulled off so much black. This could be quite an extensive clean job, I think. But it'd be worth it. Even instantly, that is softer, and I can feel that it'd be nicer to work with.
Having carried out a forensic examination of the acclaimed scientist's microscope, Richard has made his own critical discovery.
Young Felix was saying he could only see blobs. I also can only get blobs. Having looked at the eyepiece, it's nice and clean, but the bottom lens is missing. If I look at one of my own eyepieces, you've got a lens at the top, and you've got a lens at the bottom. You've got to have the system at the top, which then works through the lens at the bottom, which is the combination makes the magnification. So I'm hoping to source a new eyepiece, so the next stage is actually start de-rusting one or two tiny parts. This is a graphic arts eraser, tiny little fibres in a bundle. I've had one of these in my toolbox for years. It's just like a little scrubbing brush, but it's very effective for getting rust off. I'll just work my way around this, tidying it up. Whole frame needs to be just polished to make it look a bit prettier. I've spent quite a bit of time on the microscope getting that all smart. The box is quite good for its age, considering it's 132 years. The big thing is there's a crack all the way up there. So the first job is to get some wood glue in that crack. The whole point of having a good box to store the microscope in is to keep it away from the dust and the fungus and temperature change. And the thing about any optics is that the fungus spores in the air get sucked in and out with the diurnal variation. It's a nice phrase, which means the temperature change causes the optics to act like a mini bellows, and they're sucking it in and pushing it out, and the fungus spores get in as well. I'll let it dry and then get on with the buffing and cleaning. Now to actually see if the crack has set. Oh yeah, that's worked. So now I can get on to the outside of the case. This is a magic potion that I've borrowed from Will. It's got raw linseed oil, white spirit and something else, but it works. Of course, being Will's, it would work, wouldn't it? Would work, yeah, of course it would.
As Richard does his best to emulate Will's skills, the real deal is taking delivery of the latest assignment. Krishna Kataria from Hertfordshire has arrived to tell him all about this intriguing piece of heritage furniture.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hi, I'm Krishna.
This must be a bench.
Yes, it is. It's a swing.
It's a swing?
It's an indoor swing.
Really?
Yes. If you see the sides, it has got 4 hooks, and you put the chains around the hooks, and then you attach that to the beams of the ceiling, and that's how you hang it indoors.
I've never seen an indoor swinging bench.
Thank
Where's
you.
it from?
It's from Gujarat, that is west part of India. And it's been in my family for a very long time.
How long is a long time?
My uncle has accounted it for 125 years.
That's a long time.
That is a long time. It belonged to my great-grandfather, who gave it to my grandfather, who gave it to my father, and I'm the lucky one who inherited it.
So there's a lot of history there.
Yes. Ever since I was born, I remember even walking by holding on to it, but of course I had to be careful because it was swinging.
Yes.
So I've got lovely memories. My dad used to put me to sleep when I was little. Like, I would lie down, he would sit next to me, sing, and I would fall asleep.
Really?
And my grandmother and me used to always fight about who's going to sit on it. Because when I went to school, she would be on it. When I came home, I was like, you've been sitting on it all day. It's time for me now. And then it would be me. And then again, she'll come back like, you've been there for far too long. Come on, my turn.
So there's always a bit of a fight for the bench.
Yes. I hang on to those memories. They're very dear to me. Very often than not, they do come flooding in about my grandparents, and especially my dad, because I lost my dad at a very early age. So I'm not possessive about material things, but this one I am. It's just part of me. A couple of years ago when I had health problems, and I used to come back after my chemo, I used to just come and lie down on the bench, and it just made me feel good. You get very tired with chemo. Every morning I would just have my coffee and then I would be lying on it with my little blanket on, and that's it. Not a good experience to go through, but I survived. I used to feel very comforted because just it's a family thing, and I just felt I was, my family was around me. So this means a lot.
What exactly would you like me to do with this bench?
If you sit on it right now, the whole thing shakes a bit.
I'm not going to fall through the bench.
No, you won't. It's just the whole thing is a bit shaky, and you can tell when you sit on it. See? Oh. There you go.
I feel like I'm swinging, but not the right
way of swinging it.
This back sounds slightly creaky. How did it get into this condition? I mean, the joints are slightly wobbly, aren't they? Yeah.
When we got it shipped from India back in 2002, the journey didn't do any favours to it. It was literally falling to pieces, literally.
You must have been really upset.
I was, and it was like, I can't even sit on it, leave alone, have it suspended from the ceiling.
What are these bits here for?
A friend of mine, he came to my rescue and said, I'm not a carpenter, but I will try to put this as much as I can together.
The brackets probably helped it from further damage, and it's kind of kept it all intact.
Yes, it has.
But I think I'm going to have a challenge in my hands. I might need some help with the upholstery, but yeah, it'd be nice to get it up swinging again.
Thank you so much.
I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
I'm surprised no one has actually fallen through this bench yet, because it's really quite rickety. Look at that. This foam is quite hard, so I might have a word with Sonaz and see if she can do something with it. Pop that under there. At the moment, this bench looks really dull. I think it's made of teak. It'd be really nice if I can take this back to the original wood and repolish it. I think it would look just the part. The entire bench is going to need a lot of strengthening. This leg in particular is pretty bad. There's a split running along the top there, which actually runs throughout the rest of the leg, and I'm missing a lot of the bottom of that leg as well. I need to do a lot of woodwork here, but I'm going to start off by removing these newly added brackets. Oh my gosh. So these metal brackets were really actually keeping the whole of the back in place. I think I'm going to have to completely dismantle this. And I might have to remake some of these joints as well. It's going to be a really big job.
Also restoring structural strength, Dean, as he overhauls the prisoner of war boots.
So it's really quite satisfying to get the old heel block off. And I've got rid of all that old leather. There's no way I could have reconditioned this. It's almost like cardboard, really. I'll rebuild the heels in the same way that they were built originally. A lot of modern ones are plastic units that go on the bottom of shoes. But you'll always see those lines in the heel. And that's kind of a throwback to this traditional layered heel building. So first layer on, I'm just going to roughly trim that edge. And it's really just a case of repeating this process. Glue and layer, and then trim. So I'll need the heel to sit flat once all the layers are on. And what I'm looking for is a slight gap at the front where you can maybe get a finger or two under. If I have too low a heel, That will feel like you're leaning backwards when you wear them. If you have too high a heel, it feels like you're leaning forwards. So it's really important to get that balance right. And looking at this, that needs at least one more layer under there to make it right. So I'm going to continue this process on both boots, sand them smooth. This back bit, this counter, some of the stitches was pretty much dust. So I'm going to sew this back up and get some strength and structure back in there. I don't want to get any stitch wrong on this, not a single one, so I'm just taking it nice and slow, doing one stitch at a time, ensuring that I hit every original stitch hole, trying to be as sensitive as possible to the boot, really. And I can move on to this upper part and try and tackle this felt and where all the holes are. Now this is really, really old felt. It's really thick and very compressed. The holes are moth-eaten, and it's where the moths have taken flight and left these holes. It's really outside my comfort zone. I don't really work with felt, but I'm always up for the challenge. So I came up with the idea of plugging the holes. I'll feed a little bit of glue into each hole, and before it dries, you get some felting wool, and then feed the felting wool in. Now once it's in there with the glue, it blends quite well, and as that dries, you can then trim it off. There's quite a lot of work to do here. There's a lot of holes to fill on both sides of the boots, so I really need to persevere with this.
In the quest to get the Indian swinging bench back to its comfortable cradling best, Will's recruited upholsterer Sonas to work her magic on the soft furnishings.
This old foam is actually really firm, and I can't imagine it being actually that comfortable to sit on. So I am going to replace the foam, I think. Having a look at these bolsters, I can undo this stitching, stuff some more polyester wadding inside to really plump them back up again, and they'll be good as new. I've got some lovely new foam, so now I just need to cut it to size.
This has taken me ages to flat pack. I mean, there are so many components here, but the more I take off, the more damage that I can see. Oh, I mean, look at that. There's a nasty split running from the top right down the side of this leg here. Now, when you think about it, when the bench is swinging back and forth, it's putting subtle bits of movement into the joints. And the more that you can have movement, the more you have a wiggle, the more that the joints can actually start to break down. The bench needs to be really strong and secure, so I'm going to make a new leg. And that's what I'm going to start off doing. that's the new leg all turned up. Now I need to cut the leg down to the right length and add the 2 mortise holes that go on the sides. Then I can get to sand everything back. I have finally finished sanding back this bench. There are some really big areas of damage here. On this side of the bench, a little piece of wood has come away there. That should glue back together quite nicely, but up here, there's a really big patch of damage. So I'm going to have to patch that with a new piece of wood.
I really wanted to add a little bit more zhuzh to the cushion. So piping is just one of the details to give it that little something extra.
Now, I've left a bit of excess wood around the outside, which gives me a bit of wiggle room when clamping together. But once this is dry, I can shave that down so it matches in perfectly with the surrounding wood. So once that glue is dried, it should create a nice strong bond. Right, now that's all clamped up, I'm going to leave it to dry. And then I can start putting the bench back together.
The microscope that revealed a century of scientific secrets is almost ready to start its next phase of discovery.
Everything's coming along quite nicely. Everything is smooth and greased and slides. That's good. This is the original eyepiece, and this is a new one. It just drops in. Time to put a slide in and actually see that it works. I've got a selection of slides all prepared. Right, the mirror. The mirror is done. Nice new shiny mirror on there. Oh, there it... Oh, wow. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's better than I thought. Better than I thought it would come up. Oh, this is magic. Oh, there's one here. It says Gypsophila pina colada. Pina colada? Petal. It's not pina colada. I like repairing things like this, and then looking through a microscope is magic. What you see, you get that wow. Now, I'm sure Felix is going to be just as bowled over. He's just going to have so much fun.
This microscope once supported the work of one of the 20th century's most influential scientists, Felix's great-grandfather. Today, Felix and Sam have returned, hopeful that the microscope can become a launchpad for Felix's own journey of discovery.
Here he is.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Felix.
Hi.
Richard.
How are you going, Felix?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good to see you.
Hi, guys.
Felix, are you excited?
Yes, very.
Yeah.
The excitement is going round the family. It's a subject of conversation at the moment, definitely.
Yeah.
And my school.
Oh, and the school as well.
Yeah, everyone knows about it. Very exciting.
That's great. There's a huge amount of family history with this microscope, isn't there?
Absolutely.
It's incredible, isn't it?
And then
Yep.
Felix is the next chapter of this story, hopefully.
Do you want to see it?
Yes, please.
Go on, Richard.
We've managed not to peek.
Go
Well,
on.
well done. All right, you ready for this?
Yep. Oh, my God. That looks amazing. Honestly, just amazing. Yeah, that's so good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It did derust it.
Yeah.
What was it you wanted to look at first?
What's it going to be?
Slice of carrot or cucumber?
Right.
What is it?
Wow.
What can you see?
What can you see?
A holy cheese crossed with a postage stamp. That's amazing. Thank you.
I'll never look at a piece of cucumber in the same way again.
The amazing things you see under a microscope.
Yeah. Felix, this is the first time you've been able to look through this properly
Yes.
since you've had it.
Yes.
Just like your great-grandfather did all those years ago.
Yeah. So
How's that feel?
amazing, exciting, and yeah, just amazing.
To take this in to show your school friends, you're going to need to put it in something, aren't you?
Yeah, the box.
No, it's cleaned and polished.
There you go.
Thank you.
Ready to take to school.
Yeah.
Felix, you all set?
Yep.
Locked in, ready to go?
Yep.
Brilliant. Well, that is yours to take away and enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Richard.
Very best of luck in the future.
Cheers.
Take
Bye.
care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Sweetest kid. Love that.
Knowing how much history this microscope has, I feel happy, inspired, honoured to just have this and being able to play with it whenever I want, really.
He can go in 100 different directions. I can't wait to see where you go with it. Let's go.
The bench that soothed 4 generations of one family is finally ready to be reassembled.
I do get quite a lot of enjoyment when I get to this part of the restoration, especially when something comes into the barn so broken. Right, that's the first side glued up. I'm hoping it's going to fit really nicely on the end here. Well, that is a nice, snug fit. I just need to dowel this in place so I can move on to the other side.
These bolsters really are the cherry on top. I'm really pleased with how they've turned out, and I'm loving the tassel. It really has finished it beautifully. I can move on to the next one, and then it's finished, and the cushions can go over to Will.
Cobbler Dean has eradicated the moth holes and colour-matched the new heels on the tough old boots.
So now we really need to get some moisture into these uppers. What I don't want to do is add a coloured cream, because I think that will diminish the story of what these boots have been through. And I don't want to take any of that away. So the cream I'd like to use is an oil-based cream. It will really get deep into the leather, and it will protect against the elements. Wow, look at that. That's just soaking that cream up really, really nicely. Even after doing it thousands of times, I'm still really, really satisfied when I see that sort of result. And I do get quite excited at this stage. It's almost impossible for me to comprehend what these boots have been through when Jack wore them. And it's such a privilege for me to be able to touch them and handle them and restore them.
Having carried a prisoner of war hundreds of miles across Europe during the dark days of war, these boots were showing their age, with deteriorating heels and moth holes.
Dean,
You all right?
honestly, they look amazing.
Come up all right?
You must be pleased.
I'm pretty pleased.
Well done.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Always nerve-wracking.
For Malcolm, the boots remind him of his father's tenacity and resilience.
Malcolm, hi.
Hi, Dom.
Well,
Hi, Dean.
Welcome back.
It's good to be here again.
Oh,
I've been thinking about the boots themselves and what's going to happen to them and what they're going to be like when I see them. You know, the fact that they marched through Poland when Dad was starving and things of that nature.
They've had a life, haven't they?
Yeah, they had, yes. So it's quite exciting, the thought that they'll be restored probably to the former glory.
Malcolm, do you want to see your boots?
I think so, yeah. I'm waiting for
Building
this.
up the tension.
Go on,
Are
Dee.
they honest here?
Oh, my word. Absolutely perfect. Yeah, I never imagined they would get back like this again. Oh, that's brilliant, that is. Oh, my word. Let's have a look at... Yeah, I can just imagine Dad wearing them when I was a little boy, when it's snowing and things like that. And then you go trudging on. So they represent character as well as episodes in the history of our family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of these emotions and sort of sentiments are wrapped up in a pair of boots.
Yeah. Yeah, they're encompassed in that, yeah. But we don't want to forget it.
No.
Good, rightly so.
And that's helped considerably. Thank you so much for doing
Welcome.
that, Dean.
It's been a privilege.
Just to get them back to the way they were before. And they're a very good pair of boots now. They're certainly not going back where there's a lot of moths, I'll tell you that.
Glad to hear that.
It's moths, honestly, yeah. They're yours to take away. Get them back home where they belong.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Lovely to meet you.
Take care. It's brave now.
Special pair of boots.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
They're so important to me, the boots, because they are a tangible reminder of Dad, who died many years ago now, but also remembering what he went through during the war. And by association, we can not forget what's gone on before.
It's taken a full dismantle and rebuild to get the Indian bench back in the swing of things again.
Well, this has been a mammoth task. Look at that. Sturdy as anything. Now it's time for polishing, and this is my favourite part because I'm hoping this is going to look exactly like it did when Krishna first saw it. You know, I want to take her back to her childhood back in India. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That looks absolutely gorgeous.
The 125-year-old bench arrived at the barn on the point of collapse, held together by incongruous metal brackets. For Krishna, this beloved piece is a safe space and conjures up memories of family gathered upon it.
Hi, Krishna.
Hi.
Follow us.
We're not going in the barn.
But you're wondering where we're taking you?
Yeah, we're not going in the barn, so where are you taking me? Oh, my God. It's actually hanging. I'm hoping that it is restored the way it used to be back when I was little.
Right.
And comfortable and not shaking every time we just try and sit on it. So. I can't wait. I'm so excited. And you've got it suspended. That's the best bit. Thank you.
So,
Would you like to have a look?
Yes, please.
are you ready?
Please, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, my God. That's amazing. That just looks so good. This is how I used to remember it. Oh, wow. Look at the upholstery. My God, it's so good. Thank you.
I think you've waited probably long enough, haven't you, to have a sit in it? So
I was just going to say, can I please?
would you like to?
Yes,
Of
please.
course, of course.
Oh, this is amazing. This is so comfy. This is how I wanted it to be.
Good.
Dad, son.
Thank you so much. I can't thank both of you enough. It's just so good.
Aww.
I'm so happy.
Aww. And now it can go back into its rightful place.
Oh, I can't wait.
In your home.
Yes. When it's time to relax, you just lie down, put your feet out.
Oh, my God.
That's so good. Like it was made to fit you.
There you go.
That looks so comfortable as well.
Thank you so much.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and it's been the first swinging bench I've ever seen.
And
First-
worked on.
And worked on.
Yeah, same.
I can't thank you guys enough.
Well, we'll get this packaged up and we'll get it sent over to you.
Thank you so much once again, guys.
Bye, Krishna.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I have made so many memories on that swing with the family. It really feels as if, yes, my family is around me, especially my father, my grandmother. Right from childhood till now, all the memories have come flooding back. I'm so happy. I'm just so happy.